There's a unique kind of comfort in silence, isn't there? It's like wrapping yourself in a warm blanket on a cold day, where the outside world fades away and all that remains is you. In those moments, when everything is still, it feels safe. But it's not happiness we find there. It's a refuge from the chaos that surrounds us. Think about it. The world outside can be overwhelming. The noise, the expectations, the constant barrage of information. It can feel like a tidal wave crashing down, pulling us under. So we retreat. We curl up in our beds, scrolling through our phones, seeking connection, but finding only more noise. We hide, not out of weakness, but because we've been strong for too long. We've faced challenges, dealt with heartbreak, and navigated the complexities of life. And sometimes, it's just too much. The silence becomes our ally, a space where we can breathe, where we can think without the pressure of the outside world. It's in these quiet moments that we can finally hear ourselves, our thoughts, our fears, our dreams. But there's a fine line between comfort and isolation. It's easy to get lost in that silence, to let it become a barrier rather than a sanctuary. We must remember that while it's okay to seek solace, we also need to reach out. Connection is vital. It's what reminds us we're not alone in our struggles. So, if you find yourself retreating into that silence, know that it's okay. It's a natural response to the noise of life. But don't let it become a prison. Embrace those moments of stillness, but also allow yourself to step out into the world when you're ready. There's strength in vulnerability, and sometimes the bravest thing we can do is to share our silence with others. It starts with a simple message left on read. You know the one. You send it out into the void, and then silence. At first, it stings a little, but you brush it off. Maybe they're busy, you tell yourself. But then it happens again. Missed calls pile up, and you start to feel this weight pressing down on you. You think, I'm tired, or not today. It's easier to say no than to explain why you don't want to go out. You convince yourself it's just a phase, that you'll bounce back. But slowly, those small refusals turn into a habit. You stop reaching out. You stop making plans. You stop explaining yourself. It's not a conscious decision to isolate. It creeps in like a shadow, wrapping around you until you're comfortable in your own solitude. You find yourself scrolling through social media, watching friends live their lives, and you feel this strange mix of longing and relief. You're surrounded by people, yet you feel completely disconnected. You start to wonder if it's worth the effort. You think about how exhausting it can be to share your thoughts, to risk being misunderstood or judged. So, you retreat further into your own world, where it feels safe. You convince yourself that disappearing is easier than facing the possibility of rejection. But here's the thing. Sometimes, loneliness isn't just about being alone. It's about feeling invisible, even when people are right there. You can be in a room full of friends and still feel like you're on the outside looking in. It's a strange paradox. You crave connection, yet you build walls to protect yourself from the hurt that comes with it. And as those walls grow taller, it becomes harder to reach out. You start to believe that no one really sees you, that no one really cares. But deep down, you know that's not true. You want to be seen, to be heard, to feel that spark of connection again. So, you sit in silence, caught in this cycle of withdrawal, wondering if anyone will notice you're gone. And that's the hardest part, realizing that sometimes the absence of people isn't what makes you lonely. It's the absence of connection, even when people are around. The door clicks shut, and suddenly, the world fades away. Headphones on, warm light wrapping around me like a soft blanket. Outside, everyone expects me to smile, to be normal, to explain how I feel. But in here, there are no demands, no fake smiles, just stillness. I tell myself, maybe this is who I am now. My room has become my shield, a refuge from heartbreak and noise. But I wonder, what protects me can also trap me. In this cocoon, I'm safe, yet I'm also stuck. It's a delicate balance between comfort and confinement. I remember the moments when laughter filled the air, when everything felt right. Those times when I could be myself, surrounded by friends who understood me. But then, like a shadow creeping in, came the heartbreak, the betrayal, the feeling of being ignored when I needed someone the most. I opened up, shared my fears and dreams, only to have them dismissed like they didn't matter. I was vulnerable, and someone took that trust and twisted it, using my honesty against me. It's a painful memory that lingers, a reminder of why I built these walls around my heart. Now, I find myself pushing people away. It's easier this way. If I keep them at arm's length, they can't leave when I need them. I shut the door, locking it tight, convinced that isolation is safer than the risk of being hurt again. It's not that I don't want people in my life. I crave connection, but there's this nagging fear that they won't stay. I've seen it too many times. The promises made, the words spoken, only to watch them fade away when things get tough. So, I tell myself it's better this way. I can control the narrative. I can avoid the pain of rejection by rejecting first. But deep down, I know that this isn't living. It's merely existing in a bubble of self-imposed solitude. I wonder if others feel this way too. Do they also grapple with the fear of opening up? Do they also question whether anyone will truly stick around? It's a heavy burden to carry, this belief that trust is a fragile thing, easily shattered. But what if I let someone in? What if I took that leap of faith, despite the scars? It's terrifying to think about, yet there's a part of me that longs for the warmth of companionship, the joy of shared experiences. Maybe it's time to challenge this fear, to confront the shadows of my past, and see if there's a way to rewrite the story. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to be alone. I want to believe that there are people out there who will stay, who will understand, and who will cherish the real me. So, I take a deep breath and consider the possibility. Maybe, just maybe, it's worth the risk. Long hours in bed, staring at the ceiling, the silence wraps around me like a heavy blanket. It whispers lies that creep into my mind. You're a burden. Nobody really cares. You're better off alone. But I know deep down these aren't truths. They're just echoes of my loneliness. Each moment I hide, those lies grow louder, drowning out the voices of love and support that are still there, waiting. I remind myself that vulnerability isn't weakness. It's the first step toward connection. I choose to break the silence, to reach out, because I deserve to be heard, to be seen, and to feel that I truly belong. It's strange how the place that once felt like home can turn into a cage. Sleepless nights stretch on, and my chest feels tight, like I'm trapped in a vice. Tears come, but I can't explain why. The silence wraps around me, heavy and suffocating, and I find myself longing for connection, yet paralyzed by fear. I want to reach out, but my hands stay in my pockets, weighed down by the thought that I might shatter the fragile stillness. It's not that I love being alone. I've just forgotten how to be with others without feeling broken. There's something profound about the first ray of light breaking through after days of darkness. It's not just about the sun shining. It's about what that light represents. Healing doesn't start with grand gestures or big crowds. It begins in those quiet moments, when you muster the courage to take a small step forward. Think about it. Replying to a message from a friend can feel monumental when you've been isolated. It's a tiny act, but it's also a bridge back to connection. Sitting outside for just a moment, feeling the air on your skin, can remind you that the world is still there, waiting for you. These small actions might seem insignificant, but they're the seeds of change. Writing your truth in a notebook is another powerful step. It's a way to articulate what's swirling in your mind, to give shape to your feelings. When you put pen to paper, you're not just recording your thoughts, you're validating your experiences. You're saying, I matter. My feelings matter. That's a crucial part of healing. And then there's the moment when you say, I think I need help. That's not weakness, that's strength. Acknowledging that you need support is one of the bravest things you can do. It opens the door to new possibilities, to conversations that can lead to understanding and growth. You don't have to be ready to face the whole world. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to be ready for one small moment of trying. Maybe it's reaching out to someone you trust or taking a deep breath and stepping outside. Each of these moments builds on the last, creating a path toward healing. Remember, every journey begins with a single step. It's about finding the courage to take that step, no matter how small. Embrace those moments. They're the first rays of light breaking through the clouds, guiding you toward a brighter tomorrow. Healing is a process, and it's okay to take it one moment at a time. To the one who keeps their door locked, who smiles and says, I'm fine, while tears linger just beneath the surface. You push away those who care, but deep down, you long for connection. Remember, you're not cold or heartless. You're just scared and tired. It's okay to take your time. But don't stay hidden forever. There's someone out there waiting to meet the real you, the one behind the silence. They will listen, they will understand, and they will stay. You are worthy of that love. In a world that often feels overwhelming, it's easy to retreat into the comfort of our own spaces. We create little sanctuaries where we can breathe, think, and just be. If your room is that safe haven, know that it's perfectly okay. It's a place where you can let your guard down, where the chaos outside fades away, even if just for a moment. But imagine for a second what it would be like if that safety could extend beyond those four walls. What if the world outside could feel just as welcoming? It may seem like a distant dream, but it starts with small steps. It starts with one person reaching out, one moment of connection, and one breath of courage to step outside. Think about the people in your life who might be quietly struggling. They may not always show it, but they carry their own burdens, often in silence. It's important to recognize that everyone has their battles, and sometimes, all it takes is a gentle nudge to remind them they're not alone. A simple message, a kind word, or even just a smile can make a world of difference. When we share our experiences, we create a ripple effect. We let others know that it's okay to feel vulnerable, to seek help, and to express their feelings. It's in these moments of honesty that we find strength, not just for ourselves, but for those around us. So, if you're feeling isolated, remember that you're still here. You matter. Your presence is significant, even when it feels like you're fading into the background. And if you know someone who tends to disappear quietly, reach out to them. Let them know you see them, that they are valued, and that they don't have to navigate their struggles alone. Take a moment to reflect on the courage it takes to be vulnerable. It's not easy to open up, but it's a powerful step toward healing. Each time you choose to share your truth, you inspire others to do the same. As we navigate this journey together, let's commit to being a source of light for one another. Let's create spaces where everyone feels safe to express themselves, where we can all breathe a little easier. Remember, it starts with you. One person, one moment, one breath of courage can spark a change that resonates far beyond what we can see. So, if you're still here, take a deep breath and hold on to that hope. Share your story, reach out to someone who needs it, and let's build a world where safety and connection flourish.